What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. This is gonna be Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 3, episode. I'm sorry, season 11, episode 3. And so, this was it's one of those episodes where they laying some foundation. They're gonna build up some stuff. We met the new housewife this episode, Miss Shamar DeVoe. I'm gonna get to Miss Shamari. And well, we start the episode off. We see where Eva and Portia working out together. I didn't know that Eva was working at Dish Nation. She said that her and Portia have sort of, gotten a little close, whatever, since they worked down at Dish Nation together. And she said Portia's just, a free spirit. Free spirit. I can't get my words together today. She likes to laugh. She's just a good person to hang out with and just have a good time with. And so they they're working out. Eva said, hey, I got to get rid of some of this baby weight, which she looked good to me, But, of course, we're our own worst critic anyway. And then, of course, they're doing, I don't know what it is with Eva throwing shade at Cynthia. Like, did I miss something? Because then they said something about how Cynthia and Eva didn't hit it off last year. I didn't remember that. Maybe it wasn't significant. But I didn't remember that they didn't really hit it off. I thought they were indifferent to each other, but I didn't know they had beef. But, she threw some shade at Cynthia talking about big butts, and she said, I'm a model. Since when you see models with big booties? She talking about some Cynthia, the only one I know. And then when they got done working out, of course, they're talking, and they talked about Marlo, and, now I do remember that even Marlo didn't hit it off, And Marlo, and Eva was like, look, Marlo's just a lot. Marlo's a lot, and she is. Marlo is definitely a lot. If Marlo were my friend, she's definitely the friend that you take in doses. I have friends like that. I have friends that I can hang out with every weekend, right? Then I have friends that I love them dearly, but I gotta take them in doses. And I'm sure I'm that for other people because I can be a lot. And I know that, and I'm okay with that. Like, I know that, I ain't everybody's cup of tea, and I'm cool with that, So, and then Eva threw a little bit more shade, talking about, Cynthia. At first I thought she was going to give Cynthia some props, and then it was like a backhanded, talking about Cynthia being 52 and how Cynthia came before, and I thought she was going to say, laid the foundation and made it possible for me, and yeah, I throw my little quips at Cynthia, but I really respect what she did. That's really all you had to say, Eva. And I love me some Eva the Diva. Do you understand me? I've loved Eva since America's Next Top Model. I was rooting for her on America's Next Top Model, and I thought she, I always loved her. But, I don't know what it is about Cynthia, with the whole, because again, Cynthia may not be the most interesting. Cynthia may have a lot of, may not have the most exciting storylines, but I'm going to always insist that people give credit where credit is due. And the fact that Cynthia did it 20 years before you and probably knocked down some doors that you walked through, I think that should always be some respect shown. But I know it's a show, and y'all gotta come up with something. So there we go. Oh, honey. Then we see Greg and Nene. This storyline, I just want to thank Nene and Greg for just opening up their life to us. This is reality. I always talk about when the reality show meets reality. This is reality. And they are allowing us to see their reality. And I thank them for it, for as hard as it might be to watch. For those of us who have dealt with it in our family or even dealt with it on a personal level, I'm sure that these scenes are not easy to watch. But I just thank them for opening it up to us. So in this episode, we saw Greg, he had the surgery to get rid of the cancer. But of course, the protocol is always to do chemotherapy to make sure that the doctors kill whatever was left. Oh, damn. Stupid salesman made me have to end my video. I'm expecting company. I thought it was my company, so I ended the video, and I could have just ignored that knock at the door. Anyway, but what I was saying was, I was just talking about, after the surgery to get rid of the cancer, the expectation is that you do chemotherapy to make sure they got rid of all the leftover cells or what have you, kill everything that's left over. And so Greg went to go see a specialist in Atlanta because he really doesn't want to do the chemo. And he really wants to find some alternatives to the chemo. Excuse me, to the chemo. You know, there's always the holistic. There are a lot of options out there that don't always include traditional Western medicine. And ultimately what they found, the good news is that they don't detect any cancer at this time. The bad news is they can't say that there aren't any cells that are just kind of lingering that have not, I guess, exploded yet, for lack of a better word. Ultimately, Greg decided that he's not going to do the chemo. He doesn't want to do the chemo. He wants to really look into some holistic options before doing the chemo, and that's just not the route that he wants to take. And, you know, one thing that I like that Nene said was, this is something that we have to discuss as a family, but it's ultimately his decision to make. And I respect that, you know. But she said that she doesn't necessarily disagree with his decision. She said that she didn't know she would have the chemo either. And that's hard. I'm not going to, you know, I do reviews and I do my opinions, but on this one, you know, that's really, I don't have an opinion on it. I don't, because I have not walked a mile in that man's shoes, so I don't have an opinion on it. But I respect that it was a thought, whatever his decision is, that it was a thoughtful decision, that they got opinions, that they talked to specialists, that they've even talked to some holistic doctors and got some things. So I can respect that this was a well thought out, well researched decision. And I'll just continue to pray for Greg and his family. So there's that. And that, of course, Lord, that thing took me for a minute. That thing took me for a minute. I've been real emotional this week anyway. That's a whole other video for another day. But the holidays just, I love Christmas, Thanksgiving, not so much. And so, anyway. Yeah. So now we see the introduction of our new character, Miss Shamari DeVoe, the wife to Ronnie DeVoe from Belle Biv DeVoe. Now, it's funny because she made mention of the fact how women come up to her talking about you married my husband, and she's like, no, I married my husband. I'm one of them women. I've never gone up to her to say it, but I've certainly felt that way. Because when I tell you that I have been in love with Mr. Ronnie DeVoe, I mean, obviously, the person on stage, Ronnie DeVoe, since the first time I saw the album cover for Candy Girl, not the first time I heard Candy Girl because I didn't know what they looked like, but the first time I saw a picture of New Edition, that's how long I've been in love with me some Mr. Ronnie DeVoe. I can't tell you how old I was. All I know is I was in elementary school. I do remember that. And I have gone to countless New Edition, Belle Biv DeVoe. I ain't going to say I've been to every single show because that'd be a lie. But I have been to countless New Edition, Belle Biv DeVoe shows, and they just came to town a few months ago as the new group, the BMRT. I guess I didn't make it, but I had some friends that went. Of course, they said it was a good show. You know, it was a good show. I don't know how I feel about Miss Shamari. She's a lot. She's a lot, and I don't know how I feel about her. We see that her and Candy are friends. She was a member of the group Black, which a lot of people I don't think knew or realized. And Black was the group that Lisa Left Eye founded, and I don't think she found them. I think she discovered them because I think they were already a group. But she put them on, and I remember a couple of their hits, and I remember her coming out with them because that was around the time when her and the group was sort of having some problems, and that was one of her focus, was that she was trying to get them on. And come to find out, Candy remixed one of their more popular songs. So they've been friends for a really long time. And then her and Portia went to high school together because Shamari she said she moved to Atlanta when she was 4. And she went to, high school, elementary school, junior high, college, all in Georgia. And so they've known each other since high school. I don't get the impression they were best friends in high school because Portia was like, yeah, I know Shamari. We went to high school together. But she wasn't like, oh, that's my girl, So we see where, so that's how she's introduced to us. We see where if you follow them, you know that they had twins, the cutest little twins. And honey, she looked like a stick. She ain't had nothing up in that belly, and I ain't mad at her for the snapback. Okay, well, really, well, anyway, and but they're actually working on something together. They're working on an EP together as a group. Her and Ronnie DeVoe. I forgot what they call themselves. But the song they were working on in the studio, I actually like. I'm like, okay, let me know when that drop. I'll buy it. I'll download it for $1.89. But I actually like it. I thought it was a really cute song, and they definitely seem like they get along well. They definitely seem like there's chemistry there. You know, they got a pretty good, relationship going on. Now, rumor has it. I'm not even gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there. I'm gonna let it see how it play out in the season. I'm gonna let it see how it play out. But then we saw her and Black were performing. And it was the original Black was 3 members. One passed away, and it looks like her and the other young lady have gotten back together, and that they're not. It doesn't look like they're going to replace the 3rd member, which I can understand out of respect, to her. She didn't leave the group or anything like that. She's no longer here. Now, something Shamari said that she put her talking about that her group was as successful as BBD or Escape. I don't know if that's true. Somebody let me know. Let me know if that's true. I don't know if that's true. But anyway, Black is performing at Atlanta Live, which looks like it's a venue that has like a lot of like artists that come through, a lot of old school artists or what have you. Because when they got there, Damian Hall from Guy was performing, and so, of course, they're inviting everybody. Candy invites Portia. Her and Portia actually have a pretty good conversation. They back to following each other on social media and everything. So, time heals all wounds if you let it. You know what I mean? If you let it, time can heal all wounds. And it's not to say that shit that went down with Portia and Candy wasn't some shit. But you know what? It was 2 years ago. Damn near 3. So, at a certain point, you got to figure it out and move on. Although, we got a whole nother set of drama. We'll get to that in a minute. So, but they invited, they went invited to see Black perform. So they came and performed, and they came to LA Live, and everybody was there. Nene, Eva, Cynthia, Portia, Candy. So all the ladies were there. And she performed and she did her thing, it's the 2 of them on stage, singing the 3 hits that they had. I mean, it is what it is, And after it was over, she came over to the table, and that Cynthia threw a little shade, talking about her outfit was a little dated and her hair was a little dated. And then Nene was throwing some shade. I don't know what that was about. Nene, talking about some, hi, Shamari. So I don't know what's going on with that. Like, I don't know if some shit, I don't know how, what, when, where, how. You know what I'm saying? Then Ronnie DeVoe came over, and of course him and Candy, they've toured. They're actually touring together or toured together this summer, and you could tell that a conversation was had between Ronnie and Shamari about Escape's set. You could tell that they had a conversation, because as soon as they established that, yeah, we were on tour together, then she turns and says to him, is this something you want to share with them? Something you want to tell them? And at first, Ronnie was like, yeah, great show. He was like, but if I was going to say something, I would just say placement. You want to take their fans on a trip. You want to take them on a journey. So I would just say, placement. Did anybody fucking ask? And I love Ronnie, but did anybody ask him? That was a conversation that you and your wife had, and it didn't need to be shared. Like, I don't see the purpose in it. Like, Escape ain't having no problem selling tickets. They don't need to they're clearly taking their fans on a journey. You worry about taking your fans on a journey, REMBDP New Edition. Because we've been on a journey with you for 30 years. You worry about that journey. I'm talking about some take your... And I love Ronnie. I hope Ronnie is not going to be an asshole on this show. Like, you know how like you have an idea of people, and then you meet them and they're assholes. Like, I hope that's not, like, I've met Ronnie DeVoe before. I've been around him in the group. I ain't saying we was friends, so don't start no shit, won't be no shit. I ain't saying we hung out and all that, but I have been backstage and I have met him and I've been around them, and he's never come off as a jerk. So I hope I just hope that that's not how he chooses to portray himself on the show. Moving on. So then there was a conversation, and I'll be honest, my DVR cut out. So there was this big conversation about color. I ain't catch the whole conversation, but I did see people going back and forth online all online today about it, like on Twitter and stuff about it. And it seems like a comment was made, and Portia said something about, well, I'm black, but not with a Q, and people try to make it out to be a colorism issue, and what she's saying she wasn't black enough or whatever. I really think it was just a play on words, because Shamari's group's name was Black, spelled with a Q, BLAQUE instead of CUE or whatever the fuck. Y'all know what I'm saying. Instead of BLACK, it was BLAQUE. And I really think that's all she was trying to say. Like, I didn't see the whole conversation, and I my DVR cut out, and I tried to go back and watch it again, but it keeps showing me that same episode where it cut out, so I don't know. I don't know. But, Portia ain't the brightest lamp in the bulb. I mean, the lightest bulb in the lamp anyway, so you know that. You ain't worried about no Portia. What the fuck Portia done said. And they said, I don't know if it was Portia or it was Eva, but even if it was Eva, I just don't think it was said the way people are taking it. I just don't. I think people make so much out of shit that just ain't there. It's just, ugh. Anyway, so last but not least, we see this scene. Okay, so we know last week, Kandi insinuated that she knew Portia's baby daddy. And, well, at this point, he ain't her baby daddy. He's just her boyfriend. And she got some tea on him, but Todd told her, you keep your ass out of that. You just do what you do. You stay out the hell out of that. And Kandi said she was going to do that. She was going to stay out of that. So then we see them tonight, they're at OLG. OLG opened up a second location, and they actually opened up a third location inside of the arena where the Atlanta Hawks play. So that, how when you go into the arenas, whether it be the football stadiums or the basketball arenas, they have the different restaurants that you can, and they have everything from Chick-fil-A to whatever, I know around here they have a lot of the, even like Red Hot and Blue or whatever. And so OLG is going to open up a stand inside of Hawks Arena. And I'm like, you better do the damn thing, Kandi. I ain't mad at your ass at all. And Todd it looked like he doing the damn thing. They was questioning Todd, and they was judging Todd, but Todd looked like he running that show. So then you see Carmen comes in, and Carmen used to be Candy's assistant, but she left Kandi, started her own insurance business, and she doing a damn thing because she does all the insurance off of all of their businesses. Hell, she could probably stay working for Kandi. Shit, that don't take into account her other clients, but it looked like they got that going. And then another friend showed up who does her branding, and come to find out, it's the lady that Portia was chasing down the damn alley a couple of seasons back at Kenya's Christmas party, where Portia was dressed up like the little sexy elf or whatever the fuck that was outfit she had on. Well, Candy's friends with him because Candy's like, look, she do good work for me, so I ain't gonna fall out with her just because she fell out with her, especially since they ain't even friends. They weren't friends, so she was like, look. So come to find out, then we have a cut screen. They keep going back and forth between that conversation and then Portia and her mom. And Portia's telling her mom all about the boyfriend and all the wonderful things he's done for her. And every time Portia says something about what this man has done for her, they cut back to Kandi and her friends talking about how he did it for his other girlfriends. And what the consensus is this. One, this dude that Portia's messing with is that he falls, and he falls hard. And he falls quick. And when he falls, he does shit that the average woman would think is a big deal, but to him it ain't no big deal. For example, i.e. buying a Rolex. Now, if a dude buys me a Rolex, I'm going to fall out because I'm going to be like, nigga, I know you just spent a whole lot of money on this watch. And I would take it as, wow, this person must really care for me because they just dropped a whole lot of money on me buying this watch. But come to find out, that's his MO. He buys a watch for everybody. He must have, he must have an account at the Rolex dealer, and he just be like, give me that one. Okay, give me that one. All right, next week, give me that one. Because it sounds like he's bought at least 2 more Rolex watches for at least 2 other women. Then Portia talked about him getting a tattoo, getting her name tattooed on him. Now, again, that is something that you would assume is a commitment. That is serious. Somebody is permanently inking you on their body. That is a commitment. That is serious. Come to find out, he's done that in the past as well. And not only has he tattooed other women's names on him, he's tattooed other women's faces on him. Now, you would think that Portia would have noticed that. However, this man got so many tattoos, she probably ain't paid attention to what they all for. You know, after a certain point, I've noticed that people who have a lot of tattoos, like the first couple of tattoos probably are very meaningful and very deep, and they probably put a whole lot of thought into them. Then after a while, they just be just tattooing anything. You know, like I was talking about Black Ink Crew, where they tattooed a steak on them because that was their favorite meal when they dated. Like the two couple that's dating, I wish I would tattoo a steak on my body, just a sirloin, just on my body. And I have friends who have a lot of tattoos, and at a certain point, you start looking and you like you just put anything. You just like getting tattoos because they don't even mean shit no more. You know what I mean? And I feel like, so with Portia, she probably seen all of that, but either she doesn't ask, because remember what she said. She said that last week about how she don't ask the hard questions because she don't want to, you know, give them a hard time or whatever. So she might have noticed, but like she said, she don't want to ask them hard questions, which she probably should. And her mom is just like, oh, Portia, I'm just so happy for you. You're just so happy. You're just so happy. And it just looks good on you. Now, I believe Portia is 100% in love with this man. Absolutely hook, line, and sinker. And I believe that this man cares about her. But I think that that's his MO. Like they said, one of the chicks found out that he texted her. No, he didn't even text her. Somebody else texted her and said, hey, I guess you're not with old boy anymore because he with Portia now. So this is some recent stuff. And then one of the girls that they're talking about said she dated him for 3 years. But then Candy was like, well, I don't know about that because I know some women who have dated him in the interim. So it sounds like dude is a player. Unfortunately, looked like Candy and Portia was going back and forth on Twitter today because I'm sure that Portia saw this and then she talking about some Candy, you just hating and you just making me your storyline and this, that, and the other. So we will see. We'll see how it play out. I feel bad for her because she is pregnant and they are engaged, and you know, if he is a player, like I feel bad for her. But that's pretty much where the episode was this week. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Peace.